Hello, 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 all the fellow Tibetans, locally and globally. I am Casper Deadmay again. This is my another series of 24/7 TBC live broadcast. Today I will take this opportunity to do my broadcast talking about the world taken over by elites. I will base my broadcast today on the poster video article put up by the TBC admin through the blog on November 5th, 2017. So I will show you with the screen. As you can see, this on this blog is the poster video article titling "The Elite Took Over the World" using a four-letter word. We await the system. The system is it's all right. There we have the poster there, and this is the video on what Tom Hanks has to say about the Weinstein scandal. I will go through the article with you. So the article states that when you take the time to study the lifestyles of the elite, you have to wonder how they got away with doing so much evil and still remain in the most powerful positions to run the whole world. Naturally, evil has a much harder time entrenching itself than good. The vast majority of good people accept good things without hesitation. Evil generally is quickly rejected by good people because its destructive nature is so obvious to a good person. This makes being a successful evil person very complicated. Evil requires a certain level of insanity to persist. Somehow, an evil person needs to be so self deluded so that they can embrace evil privately while remaining highly convincing to those within their socio-economic circles. They too are a good person doing the right things. Evil people are simply bored with the wholesome lifestyles that good people naturally follow. Too simple for their taste. The global elite of the world are multi-generational offspring, spawning insatiable appetites for the most heinous practices even conceivable to a human being. So evil the elite, you can hardly categorize them as being human still. Compassion has been bred out of them long ago. What these people do to others and also to their own children is beyond discussion, disgusting. Pizzagate is a recent term that can lead you towards a glimpse into their dark and secret world of atrocities against innocent children. You can also read this blog that was put on this article put on the blog on 13th December. Pizzagate. Pizzagate exposes the elite as pedophile cannibals. This article also states that it is true that 300 of the richest people in the world possesses more wealth than 3 billion of the poorest people in the world combined. That by itself is ridiculous. I am certain that all 300 of them intimately know each and every code word in the perverted pizza lingo world of pedophiles. These people are disgusting and are pure evil. They are completely consumed by the power and wealth. Most of them come from inbred dynasties. Thanks to them, we have our current set of world leaders and bankers. Think about it. I'll go back to the initial article. I will continue with the with the article on the video. second paragraph of the article states that the elite place a super high value on education. Ivy League universities are filled with the children of the elite, and pretty much they are the only ones who can afford to send their children there. Secret societies constantly recruit within such places. If a child succeeds in making it through this higher education pressure cooker, then the whole world will be laid down before them to rule over it. Insanity allows a highly educated person to master very complex structures inside the higher offices of the institutions they will control. Are these people smart and intelligent? By my definition of these words, they may be one of these, but cannot be both of these words. It's a contradiction advice. When you sum it all up, it is amazing how much effort it takes to be one of these successful evil elites. It almost seems impossible. So, how did they pull off the impossible? The elite took over the world using a four-letter word, boss, B-O-S-S, B-O-S-S. Regardless of how the ancestors of the elite positioned themselves into boss authority, they succeeded in pinching off the control of civilization through it. Before banking existed, violence was the most common way their ancestors achieved governmental power. Banking allowed non-violent treachery to overcome whole societies with less risk to life and limb. Money has become the most familiar god that men worship. Then the rest of the dominoes fell into place as expected, and the tentacles of the elite have infiltrated every kind of institution conceived. Some example are education, both K-12 as well as most higher education, law and order. The worst kind of criminal is one with a badge. Religions, wow, don't get me started. What an amazing level of mind control is contained within healthcare. Let's just say dead doctors don't lie. Entertainment. This is how they corrupt the minds and hearts of good people and it is not even done subtly anymore. I fear for all of our children. News, media, this is how they cast spells on us and teach us lies are the truth by north, east, west, south. I could go on and on. I've spent decades studying them in order to break their grip on me. Now I'm dedicated to breaking their grip on all of humanity. You need to see that their power is in the world. Sorry. You need to see that their power is in the word, boss. This is very, very correct. Look at any organization of people and you will find a boss. Large organizations have chains of bosses. All organizations are pyramids. Most of the power is at the top of the pyramid. I laugh out loud when I'm accused of running a pyramid scheme. If you earn money and also have a boss, you are also inside a pyramid scheme. If you are a boss, you are also running a pyramid scheme. It only takes 3 people to make a pyramid. Most pyramid schemes, regardless if the type is widely accepted by society or not, will fail because they are run by humans that are full of imperfections. Only the pyramid schemes less likely to be accepted by society at large are the ones with the least amount of control at the top. Offer a person a commission with super high potential for earnings, and most people will hardly work it. Yet offer a person minimum wage and then break down their neck every minute on the job, and you can get them to work their fingers to the bone. Have the elite also been successful in breeding us into slaves and sell us the illusion that we are not really slaves because we have some choice in how we spend our money? Seems that way. This has all been going on for a very long time. After all, we are now inside the end game. At this point in history, if an organization, pyramid law, has 100 people in it, generally the boss of that organization among the elite. The elite are experts at infiltration, espionage. If a good organization takes off and has success, they will over time find a way to take it over. The elite don't always start at the top of an organization that they want to infiltrate. They can take any boss position and amp up its power until they have total control over the entire organization. All of this is leading to a grand final of global depopulation, and then they will run the world by technocracy. This agenda is counter to the agenda of TBC, so it is covered in the disclaimer of the TBC. There's the website also provided by the blog for the TBC disclaimer. Thank God for the white hats. It must really frustrate the elite that they have to rely on a lot of good people to keep up their fronts as also being good people. They can't fool everyone within their circles. The white hats are led by the hand of God to either slow down the elite or stop them at some point. I'm not referencing any one particular fate when I say by the hand of God. These white heads cover the whole spectrum of faiths. They listen to what is in their hearts. You have to be pretty tough person to go around and round with the elites and remain alive. I love it when I hear stories about the children of the elites becoming white hats. What a high calling from God. As long as there is a war going on at the top of all of these institutions, we will have a chance to overcome the whole system. The elite built over thousands of years. In the end game, it is critical that we the people win. That is our only alternative. The elite want us to believe that protest is just groups expressing words. That is weak. That type of protest never works. A real protest becomes a movement. Movements are much harder to crush. But if a movement lacks funding, it will usually not change the world. Unfortunately, most good people are stingy with money. And while they might morally support a good movement, they are far less likely to contribute funds of their own to it. Why is that? Because good people allow the evil people to be the boss. Naturally, the boss has to make a lot more money than the people below them. It comes down to the dynamics of respect. So good people tend to use the small amount of money they get for just their family, and not much of it is available for the causes they care about. That's the trap we are in. TPC is a holistic approach to changing the world for the better and one that good people can support. TPC has become a large group and we are getting organized now. TPC openly protests the depopulation agenda of the global wealthy elite. TPC is a non-violent movement in and of itself. But most important, TPC is money. TPC will create a million billionaires and a billion millionaires, most likely by the end of 2018. But we are still moving forward. The elite will not see this movement coming if all of the members adhere to the advice of admin. Just personally and privately invite others to receive our crinkle cash gift and stop posting anything about TPC on social media. Then we will build to a billion members quickly without becoming fully visible to the elite. By the time the elite figure out what is going on, we will have already changed the world. We have enough TPC money to employ every working adult on the planet. History will write that TPC was the most well-funded movement in the history of mankind because TPC itself has become the money of the people. The people do not want to be skilled. Sorry, the people do not want to be killed off by a bullshit depopulation plan based on life, based on lies. Abundance is real. Scarcity is artificial and enforced by the boss. We no longer want to share. Imagine a world where everyone that wants to work actually has a job working for a generous boss. That is good. And that the average boss only has to employ 7 to 10 people to be successful because society made the paradigm shift to living in abundance. I imagine you will be that boss, and it will be a good and productive pyramid scheme. The people that choose to work with you will totally love and respect you as their boss. This article has made it very, very clear by the TBC admin that currently the world has been taken over by the elites over 100 years, and that has been built over the years and now into the system of all the humanism. So now the elites are still in control in any organization by the use of this 4-letter word, boss. My fellow TBCians, we must greatly thank the founder and the TBC admin for funding this movement through TBC coins and kringles that we now possess. That we all must stand up together to help the founder and the TBC admin to get more people into the TBC community to take part in this movement so that one day we'll get rid of the boss and we will be free all our life. Thank you, TBC admin, for the great job that is always being put in tirelessly to help everyone to one day we will reach this ultimate goal to get rid of the 4-letter word boss. Thank you very much, TBC admin and all the TBCians. God bless you all.